activity in foreign countries connected with health, the guinea worm project, which is to eradicate the guinea worm. And then in addition to that, there's the river blindness. I don't know whether you know anything about that.
No.
But river blindness is a real problem, especially in Africa and the Nile. And Merck, the pharmaceutical house, had a cure for it, but they weren't sure how to distribute it. And so they gave the actual pills, which is a pill once a year, and they gave the medication, and the Carter Center was able to arrange through their contacts in the different countries for the distribution of this medication.
Well, that's wonderful.
So it really is. I mean, if you think in your whole lifetime that you were able to save maybe a couple of million people from blindness, that alone is enough of a life's work. But when you add that to all the other things, it's absolutely amazing. And there are so many of them, it is hard to tell you what they are, okay?
Make a fashion appropriate for Jamie. Can we do this? Let's try it out. Come on now. How many people remember when that was actually cool? Yeah, Jamie does. All right, so I'd like to begin by introducing Jamie. And I think, Jamie, by all this extended family of yours, you're going to start your own jazz band, aren't you, with just family members? Quite a few here tonight. First of course, Jamie and his beautiful wife, Sarah. Please, would you both would stand? Very nice. We also...
David, you sure made it hard to try to follow you, my man. Okay. I'm going to turn to perhaps a serious side of Jamie. It's a wonderful honor for me to have been invited here tonight to say a few words about my dear friend and colleague, Jamie Eversole. Jamie and I have been friends for over 40 years. I don't remember exactly when he began studying with me, but it was sometime in the early 1960s. I was living in Indianapolis at that time, along with several others I see in this room tonight. He frequently visited my home at 1237 Virgil Parkway. From all qualities which not only made him a wonderful student, but which later also make him the exceptional teacher he has become. Jamie has sent information to the music world that honor me tonight. One of the things I most admire about Jamie is that he is an enthusiastic and lifelong learner. This was a part of his nature, which I became acquainted with early in our relationship.
And with all its own, a beautiful language. Pat Harbison, born and raised, fellow Hoosier in New Albany. Played the trumpet, fourth grade at Pine View Elementary. Fingers in the house up here? You better leave while you can. It's an IU house, sweetheart.
On April South Drive. I think anyone who knew Jamie as a young man could tell he was going to be talented and energetic, but I don't think anybody could foresee the way this entire method of teaching and learning jazz would develop and would make him an international figure. I'm sure he didn't think about it that way. Shown so many people that improvising is really a way of life. In life, as in music, you equip yourself with the best skills you possibly can, and then you express yourself and invent your own path. Jamie has demonstrated his feelings about other people. He's really a humanitarian. Not so he'll get accolades. This is probably in a certain way very weird for Jamie to have these kinds of events, but he...
And the tune that he mentioned was Honesty. David Baker here wrote the tune. He's on this little 45. We were trying to make a buck. It didn't work. Pat Harbison mentioned the green light. This is a green light. It's had a rough life. We take it to every concert. I'm going to plug it in. It's on? It's the green light. we tell the students that when the green light is on, that means we're improvising, we're free, we're using our imagination, we're being creative, and that's what jazz is. We play the melody at the beginning of the tune. I try to remember to hit the button, and they know what's going to happen. We're going to have fun. We never use music. We don't have a music stand. Incidentally, this is one of my earlier music stands from my high school days. J.A. It used to say Nighthawks on it, but I guess Butch's dad was a painter, and he redid it and put J.A. on it. But when the green lights died in the Clark County Hospital and the Floyd County Hospital several times, really, he was a sick boy. And I just told him the other day how much insurance, health insurance I was paying a year for him. I couldn't believe it. Incredible. So, and then we have one more person that's been with us, how long, Danny? 3 months? 2 months? Oh, and I looked at my driver's license and I said, you're right. And I said, what did I say? I said something. I said, I don't know, how long you been working here? And he said, 4 years. And I said, you play music? And he said, yeah. I said, well, what do you want to do? And he said, I want to be a rock star. I think that's what you said. And I said, what instrument you play? He said, drums. And I said, you ever looking for another job? And he said, well, yeah. So to make a long story short, about 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, he started working for us, and he's doing real good. I'm presently paying him, what is it, 8 cents more than pennies? He's doing a good job. He's doing good. As a matter of fact, people say, I call and someone answers the phone. It's Danny. Always before, it's Matt and Gigi trying to, hoping the other one would answer the phone. You know, that type of thing. I started playing the piano, I think, when I was about 4 years old. He was 8. And I thought it would be great to play the piano. You know, there was no TV, no video, no CDs, no MP3s. Life was different. So to play the piano was a challenge. So I started playing the piano at 5, and I took lessons for about 5 years. And then my piano teacher fired me because I didn't want to practice an hour a day, and I think my mom was tired of fighting with me over the practice sessions. So I made the natural switch, as I say, to tenor banjo. That's what my dad played. So I played the banjo and took lessons in Louisville for a while. And
banjo lessons?
Banjo lessons, yeah.
Really?
Over at Shackleton's on 4th Street.
Uh-huh.
Doc Eastwood was the teacher at the time, and he loved my banjo. It was a gold-plated Vega that I think my dad bought in about 1927. Pretty heavy thing for a 12-year-old, 11-year-old boy to be lugging on the bus over to Louisville and up 4th Street. But I did
I would think that you would be a pure keyboardist.
No, not
That's
me.
that's wonderful. That is just so terrific.
I tell you what I feel comfortable doing is playing the bass. Let me
Oh,
play
really?
the bass.
You can do a solo.
A former Louisville musician, Bill Johns, left town